Imagine you land in Europe. You go to enroll at your university, and they say, no health insurance proof, no enrollment. Or worse, you get sick in your first month, and you realize your cheap insurance does not work the way you thought. In the next 12 to 15 minutes, I'll help you pick insurance that is accepted, affordable, and safe when your plans change. This is for international students in the EU and also the UK. Quick note: I'm not your lawyer or your insurance agent. Rules can change. Always verify with your university and official websites. Here's the simplest way to think about it. Health insurance choices depend on 3 questions. 1. Are you an EU student with an e-check or a non-EU student who needs a visa? 2. Are you staying temporarily or long-term? 3. Will you work, even part-time? Because work can change the rules fast. Keep those 3 questions in your head, and you will avoid 80% of the mistakes. Let me tell you a quick story. A student arrives, they choose the cheapest plan, they feel smart.
But then the university says, sorry, this is travel insurance, it's not enough.
This is not rare. For example, in Germany, universities clearly say travel insurance does not cover all required benefits for enrollment. It may only cover visa and entry steps. And for long-stay German visas, official guidance says travel insurance is not sufficient for a national Category D visa. So the lesson is not buy expensive. The lesson is buy accepted. The 3 lanes in Europe. Lane 1. EU students with EIC. EICs is for medically necessary, state-provided healthcare during temporary stays in another EU EA country and Switzerland. But EIC is not magic. It may not cover private care, and it does not cover rescue or repatriation back home. Lane 2. Non-EU students on visas. You must match your visa requirements first, then your university requirements. Lane 3. UK students. Many students pay the immigration health surcharge during the visa process. For students, the UK government lists it as $776 per year. Now let's talk about Germany, because this is where many students feel the most pressure. In Germany, students commonly cannot enroll without proof of health insurance status. You usually choose between statutory student insurance and private. And the smartest choice depends on your long-term plan. If you plan to live in Germany long-term, and especially if you will work later, many students prefer statutory coverage because it integrates smoothly with the system's minimum requirements and standard proof processes. Let's talk numbers, because students care about price. A published example from Techniker Krankenkasse shows student monthly contributions starting 01.01.2026 around $141 to $146, depending on your situation. Now, budget option. You mentioned Mowista GmbH. This is important for students with tight budgets. Mowista's tariff pages describe Mowista student as private travel health insurance, with pricing from $28 per month, depending on the plan. That price difference can feel like a game changer, especially if you are on a scholarship and you pay everything yourself. But here's the part students must understand. 1. Travel type insurance may not be accepted for enrollment, depending on the university and your visa char residence situation. Germany-based university guidance explicitly warns against enrolling with travel insurance. 2. Your status can force a switch. Mowista's own comparison notes an income boundary, stating that trainees as apprentices can use Mowista student up to $538 monthly income. And above that, they say you must switch to statutory insurance. So the smart way to say it is, Mowista-style plans can be a stepping stone for specific cases, but you must verify acceptance and plan your switch moment.
This is a perfect place to add your personal experience, how you found the plan, why the price mattered, and what you would do differently today.
Now, France. If you are enrolled as a student in France, the official student registration process for French health insurance is free. So if someone asks, what's the cheapest health insurance in France for students? In many cases, the cheapest legal base answer is registering in the public system, because it costs $0 to register. EU students with ECHIC may not even need to register, depending on their situation. Now, the important real-life part. In France, many costs are reimbursed after the visit. Campus France describes reimbursements up to 60%, depending on the care route. That is why many students add a mutuelle. Supplementary insurance is optional, but strongly recommended. And if you truly have low income, there is another budget tip. France's official government portal explains that Complémentaire Santé Solidaire, CSS, can be free or low cost depending on income. So the France message is, start with the system, then decide how much extra protection you can afford. Netherlands and Sweden. Quickly, 2 countries where students get surprised. The Netherlands. If you work, even part-time, you typically need Dutch basic health insurance. And one university guidance page says something many students don't know. EHIC is not valid if you are employed in the Netherlands. So if you plan to work, budget for that. Sweden. If you study more than 365 days, you can register for a Swedish personal identity number and access care under the same terms as residents. And universities explain that this number is used for practical life, including accessing healthcare. So Sweden is about duration. Short stay and long stay feel very different. Spain and Italy, very fast but very useful. Spain. Student visas can require specific health insurance conditions. A Spanish consular student visa page includes health insurance validity rules tied to the duration of studies. So, for many non-EU students, Spain starts as private first. Italy. Many universities explain that non-EU students can choose private insurance or enroll in the Italian National Health Service with a published annual fee of $700. The pattern here is simple. Some countries want private insurance first. Others give you a public route quickly. Always check the official route for your visa and enrollment. Now, the UK. For many students, the decision happens during the visa application. You pay the immigration health surcharge. The UK government lists the student rate as $776 per year. And UK guidance says you can start using the NHS free of charge from the date your visa starts. But there are exceptions like prescriptions and dental and optical services. So the UK messages, it's not monthly, it's upfront, and you still might pay for some extras. Let's finish with a checklist you can screenshot. Ask these 5 questions. Will this plan be accepted for my visa and my university enrollment? Does it cover me from day 1 in the country? If I work part-time, will my insurance requirement change? If I stay long-term, can I switch smoothly into the national system? And finally, what will I pay in the worst month, not the best month? That is how you make a smart choice. If you found this helpful, subscribe for more practical student survival guides in Europe. And comment below. Which country are you moving to? And are you planning to work part-time? I read the comments. And I can make a country-specific follow-up video based on your questions.